To say our body will always adapt is not only a false claim, it's a dangerous claim because it's grossly inaccurate. Our body will never adapt, it evolves. Evolution is a process that takes eons. What sets our old traditional diet apart from today's diet is that every single bite of that diet was 100% natural food. As we evolved over the centuries, that same diet evolved with us. Today we refer to it as our traditional diet. As our lifestyle changed, the ratio of protein to carbohydrate changed, but the changes were tiny increments over many centuries. Today, our recommended diet includes 60% unnatural processed foods. So 50 years ago, we were still connected to that natural, intuitive diet. It had taken us through generations of slim, healthy people who followed their intuition when choosing their food. But then something unexpected happened. A group of people keen to be known as diet experts had created an actual diet. They wanted to be experts, entitled to wear white coats and advise people on how to choose their foods. They called their diet the food pyramid. That's because it was actually presented by a large poster showing a pyramid sectioned into layers according to the importance of each category of food. When the food pyramid was launched, the poster created quite a stir. But few people, if any, actually accepted the diet. It was a very complicated way to eat the foods they were already eating intuitively anyway. But in the background stood an industry also on the brink of breaking into our daily diet with new, never before seen manufactured processed food. They wanted that pyramid diet. They wanted to add a large chunk of their own foods as a base to the pyramid. This would add a new category, the largest, most important category that would become the foundation of the food pyramid. The diet experts were quick to see the benefits for both parties. They would finally have a diet to sell that really was completely different to the traditional diet. The food pyramid would be supported with a major launch and a massive advertising campaign. Both parties were happy to proceed. The food pyramid went from 100% natural foods to 60% unnatural processed foods. They were foods guaranteed to catch on fast, as they all had a touch of a chemical cocktail designed to make the products irresistible. This was done in a research facility owned by the industry. Suddenly, we have a diet that for the first time ever was not based on natural foods. It was instead based on 60% unnatural foods. It was massively promoted as the only thing that could lower cholesterol. At that time, this had become a new medical emergency. The original food pyramid was a simple reversal of our natural intuitive diet. It was called a scientifically designed modern new diet suitable for the 20th century. The food pyramid was pronounced as the only solution to high cholesterol. The sudden extreme change to our diet gave our internal body a shock it has yet to recover from. We started the 20th century with a refined, well-functioning internal eating system. It had operated perfectly for centuries without any help from us. That awesome system included our digestive system and our basic instinct intuitive eating that led us intuitively to the right foods. Together they worked in perfect harmony for centuries. Then, almost 50 years ago, without need or desire, we go and change it. Common sense should have told us that this wasn't a very smart thing to do. But it was the 70s. It was a time when everybody had a theory about something and claimed to be an expert on pretty much everything. But what very few people know today is the story about intuitive eating. It was the biggest obstacle to the industry and the greatest loss to each and every one of us. Intuitive eating was the mechanism that enabled us to eat intuitively. That basic instinct guided us intuitively to the right foods. Without it, we were left floundering, not really knowing what our body wanted. This was the ace in the pocket the industry counted on when they knowingly broke intuitive eating. Since then, over a period of 50 years, nobody has ever intervened to find out how our body felt about this. Today, we have plenty of evidence about that. We have an obesity epidemic. Type 2 diabetes has gone from never being heard of to something close to an epidemic, and pharmacies are stocked to the rafters with preparations to alleviate digestive and intestinal problems. We've lost touch with our own internal body to the extent that we now need experts to tell us what to eat. There has never been a time when we've had so much advice about diets and food as we have today. Yet we've never looked or felt worse. According to statistics, weight problems will affect 80% of the population by 2030. To combat that, the experts offer more of the same. Let's agree to stop this madness. To learn about the last weight loss and what it can do to keep you slim for life, just click or copy the link below.